All right, in this part, we're gonna make this base, the one that we just glued the rocks down on, and make it match this base, the original one. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay down the first coat of either Mod Podge and paint or glue and paint, depending on what you have. And then we're gonna take some of these ingredients. We're gonna take the little lemon peel granules, and we're gonna take some of the paprika, and we're gonna start adding the features that you see here, okay? So this is really the fun part. This is where it really starts to come together. And of course, my neighbors are mowing their lawn right at the middle of this filming. Okay, so let's see how this goes. We're just gonna try to go beyond the lawnmower situation. So in this container, I have taken glue, my cheap glue, and I've just made some brown paint. I took a little bit of brown, a little bit of red, maybe a dash of yellow, and I made this sort of reddish brown concoction. Now, if you have Mod Podge, this is a great chance to use your Mod Podge. I'm just making homemade Mod Podge with my glue and then just the brown paint. So I like to use this little foam brush, and what we're gonna do now is we're gonna apply this all over the surface, but we're only going to touch the sides, undersides of the rocks. I'm not gonna apply it to this just yet. You'll see why. So here we go, we're gonna start now. So I'm gonna start anywhere you want, doesn't really matter. And we're gonna start just applying this glue and paint combo. And again, we've already gone over, excuse me, the base already has a layer of brown paint on it. And so you just have to make sure that you don't miss any spots. And so just go over the entire thing with it. And again, this is where you want to take your foam brush and kind of get the underneath part of the rocks that we just did, but not necessarily the tops, okay? And you want to go right to that edge. That's where it's kind of, the magic kind of happens when you go right to the edge. So there we go. Nothing to it really. This is just as easy as it looks. You're just taking the foam brush and you're making sure that you get all the spots. And a little bit of this brown paint goes a long way, but you want to be liberal with it. You don't necessarily want to go too light of a coat because it adds texture and it will allow for the glue to adhere to sort of the toppings that we're going to put on, okay? So again, I just want to make sure this is really where you sell it. So you really want to make sure that you get underneath the rock. That's kind of one of the things where people go wrong with dioramas is sometimes they forget that undersides of things show, you know, and sometimes people think, oh, well, you know, I'll just go to the base of it, but not under the base of it. And that's always when the illusion starts to fall apart. So just take some extra time and get under those parts, in between and under. It's really kind of important, okay? And then what we're gonna do is in the next part that's coming right up here, we're gonna start adding the toppings. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish covering this whole thing with paint. You don't need to watch me do the whole thing, but you get the idea. Just cover the whole thing with your Mod Podge or glue paint mix. Make sure to get the under portions of the rocks because you want those things to cover. And I'll see you in just a minute. Okay.